So here's the thing everyone's talking about. So we'll fast forward. Bill O'Reilly talking with what's his name?
Paul
Donald
Ryan.
Trump.
Oh.
And it's something when you can out-racist the biggest racist in the country. So I guess that makes Bill O'Reilly the biggest racist. Here we go. He's trying to get Donald Trump to say some racist stuff. And it doesn't work. Donald Trump doesn't fall for it.
Youth, with African-American youth, you have a 59% unemployment. With people of prime age, it's much higher.
But how are you going to get jobs for them? Many of them are ill-educated and have tattoos on their foreheads. And then, how are you?
What? They got tattoos on the foreheads. He's got more tattoos on their forehead. Yeah, that was it. Mike Tyson's the only guy I know who has a tattoo on his face. Black guy.
The only person I know with a tattoo on their forehead is Charles Manson.
Charles Manson's a white guy, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, you know all the black guys with tattoos on their foreheads. You got Manson, the guy from American History X. Who else? That's it.
I'm out.
There's two white guys. That's all I can
Maybe
think
watch
of.
an MSNBC prison documentary on the weekend.
Those are all still white guys with the tattoos on
crazy
their
prisoner guys.
A carny, usually a white carny.
But believe me, if he's not racist. He's not racist.
It's just one step removed from, the Jews with the horns and whatnot.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with them? I love he says that many of them are ill-educated. Trump, I love the ill-educated. Okay, here we go. He's got more to say.
And I hate to be generalized about it, but
by the way, this is like a racist off.
it's true.
He hates to. By the way, he hates to be general. I'm going to back that up because he hates to generalize.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard.
He wouldn't dare do that.
He wouldn't dare. In fact, if he does it, he would hate it.
But it's true. If you look at all the educational statistics, how are you going to give jobs to people who aren't qualified for jobs?
We're going to bring jobs back. We're going to have Apple computers made in this country, not just. We're
But
going
you
to have
have
a
to
lot
have
of
skills to
companies.
make
Right now,
Apple computers, yeah? And the
you will
educational
get the
systems.
skills.
What?
We will get the skills and we'll develop the skills. We have an incredible population and they don't have the jobs. Our good jobs are going to China. They're going to Mexico
we
every
know
day.
that. But it's more challenging.
Well, wait a minute. Carrier and Nabisco and Ford and every company you can name, they're building in Mexico. They're not here. Because we have politicians that don't know what they're...
I got it, but don't you want to say something about the blacks? Don't you want to say how bad they are? You don't want to say, I got it. I understand there's problems with the economy, but blacks have tattoos on their foreheads.
He's saying they're too stupid to have jobs.
So this is what he's saying, Hank. He's saying that they're too dumb to make Apple computers in the inner cities of America because they don't have the education the slaves in China have.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Apparently, the slaves in China, very well educated, they still don't make any money because they have to put fences to keep them in. Right? This is what he's saying. He's saying that the people in America aren't educated enough to do the jobs that used to be done here, and now we're sending them. So he's just saying, hey, they're out. They're sending all Nabisco, Ford, General Electric. They're all sending the jobs out of the country. Is it because the people in America don't have the skills? Because they're sending them to less educated, poorer people in other parts of the country. But Bill O'Reilly says, no, they're doing that. Nabisco, they're sending those jobs out of the country because the blacks have tattoos on their head.
Well, I don't want to eat a cookie made by somebody who has a tattoo.
I don't. I want to eat a cookie made by an elf in a tree. No tattoos. So let's see. There's a little bit more to this.
By the way, if Donald Trump pushed back with the logical pushback, which is, well, are you for significant education reform in the black community? Can we start actually getting the black community better educated? Would you be okay? Would you be cool with that? I guarantee Bill O'Reilly would spin around and all of a sudden be like, wait a second.
Whoa, if Trump...
I'm already spinning around thinking that Trump would ever propose such a thing.
Yeah. If Trump said, hey, why don't we invest in education in the inner cities? O'Reilly would, no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't educate these people, they're animals. That's what he's really saying.
Exactly what he would say.
Because what he's saying is you can't do anything for them because they are from broken families. And you can't have a good life if you're from a broken family. Just ask Barack Obama. The president of the United States. Ask Bill O'Reilly. Ask Bill O'Reilly's kids. How they're going to do it, coming from a broken family.
I
How
mean,
they,
look-
now I guess they're not going to be able to get jobs, Bill O'Reilly's kids, and they're going to get tattoos on their forehead, and they're not going to be able to get a job because they're from a broken family, just like black kids in the inner city. Isn't that weird? But it doesn't apply when it's Bill O'Reilly's family. Just black kids in the inner city. They need to stay married.
I mean, let's look at the breakdown of Donald Trump's families. All three of them.
Families.
Yeah. He puts his name on all different types of families.
Bill O'Reilly's been married twice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if he's got anything
And-
more to
and
say.
But it's
Definitely
more
not happening.
challenging in the
They're doing, but we're
African
losing our
American
industry.
Look, when we drive up to Yankee Stadium, we go through Harlem. All right, it's more challenging for a poor child in Harlem without parental guidance.
So apparently there's just kids wandering all over Harlem with no parental guidance. They live in the gangs of kids in basements of hotels. There's no parents. What the?
They're always out there
What is
playing stickball and getting into whatnot.
Getting into whatnot with and they go and they trade bennies after playing stickball.
Sure, them and their dog Petey.
A lot
And
of tomfoolery and hijinks.
So this is again he goes back to you can't. They're effectively defective because they come from broken families. They don't have a mother and a father living with them. A lot of so being raised by a grandparent or a single mom, that's no good. Even though Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, both from broken families, they became president of the United States. But and by the way, Bill Clinton's still married, still on the one marriage. Bill kept it together.
Was Nancy-
Somehow Bill O'Reilly was able to keep it together. Barack Obama still on his first marriage. Bill, isn't that funny?
Ronald
so apparently,
Reagan.
they're
Nancy was his second wife, right?
Right.
Nancy Reagan, Ronald Reagan's second wife. So
Nightmare.
again, this all goes back to the black people are defective and you can't fix it because they won't stay married. So no matter what we do for them, that's not going to fix it because they come from broken families. They won't stay together. They're such animals. They can't stop banging outside of marriage and having kids because they have the kids so they can get the welfare. So that's all this. That's all what this is. That's Bill O'Reilly, what he's doing. He's reinforcing every racist stereotype, BS meme from the right wing ever. It's the blacks. They have the kids out of wedlock so they can get the government money, and then their kids grow up as criminals. They're all animals and criminals, even though they don't use drugs any more than fucking white kids do, except we put them in jail a lot more. So let's see if there's anything more
By
to
the way,
say.
Harlem is gorgeous right now.
Bill Clinton has an office there.
Harlem, he did not go drive through
Well, let's-
Harlem and see all this poverty.
When does Bill drive through Harlem? A. B. He did go to Harlem one time. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was a couple years ago. He went with Al Sharpton, right?
It was a disaster.
They went to a black restaurant in Harlem, and I don't know if you remember what Bill O'Reilly's report back was. He goes, hey, it was just like eating anywhere else. Nobody was yelling motherfucker. Nobody was saying, get me a motherfucking iced tea. This is what Bill O'Reilly reported back from Harlem. Like, oh my God, people are just running around yelling motherfucker in restaurants. Yeah, it's almost like they're, I don't know, human beings, civilized in a city.
Yeah, he was stunned that they were well-behaved,
He was
regular
stunned
people.
that
Right.
they weren't animals.
Enough to report that on TV.
Hillary Clinton, by the way, 2 days ago on The View said that Megyn Kelly, superb journalist. So get ready for more compliments on Fox News journalism from Hillary Clinton for the next 8 years. If she becomes president, just get ready. Let's see if there's any more to this.
School, it's
Oh, no, that's
part than it is for some white kid out in Garden City. All right, and you say you can bring jobs back, but how, if the kid isn't qualified to do the job and can't do the work, I mean, you got to get into the infrastructure of the African American community. You have any plan to do that?
I've never thought I'd be in a position to get him, Donald. Come on, get him, Donald.
Yes,
Come on,
he's
take
making
him
me
down.
cheer for Donald
I'm
Trump.
cheering for Trump right now.
Let's see what Trump. You got to get into the It's like they have a broken culture. Their mind is broken. That's what Bill O'Reilly's saying. Their mind is broken. It's not that we incarcerate them at higher rates for the Senate. It's not that we've outsourced every job. It's got nothing to do that they weren't allowed to vote for until a generation ago. It's got and now when they try to vote, we suppress their vote all across the goddamn country.
The
not-
kind
none
of
of-
things,
none
the
of
kind
that.
of programs he's talking about are things like forced marriage. Essentially, like and I'm not kidding. Like if you leave a marriage, we'll give you less in benefits or whatever.
Right.
Like he's talking about programs like that, but that basically are social engineering of the worst kind.
Right. He's saying, stay in an abusive marriage and we'll give you a little bit more money.
Right.
So, like, we'll stay, like if we said that to Bill O'Reilly's wife, hey, stay with that guy who's abusive to you and we'll give you more money. That's the kind of social engineering he wants to do.
And by the way, His wife wouldn't put up with it either.
His wife wouldn't put up with it.
His
So-
wife was like, I'm pretty sure it's economically better for me to stay in this marriage. Guess what? I'm out of this fucking marriage.
So let's hear what Donald Trump's comeback is.
Well, it is true, and it's about education.
So there you go. So there we have it. It's there's nothing you can do. Blacks, and you got to get into the infrastructure of the black culture. You know, they keep getting divorced. I know I'm divorced twice, and you're divorced 3 times. Listen,
We got to get into the infrastructure of white Americans.
Let's fix
we
the
don't
family.
we don't have to get into the infrastructure because we're white, and our infrastructure is working just fine.
And that's what the black community needs most is an out-of-touch millionaire who's ghostwritten several books and has been a TV host for 30 years to figure out what's wrong with their infrastructure.
Yes. Who know? Who
Truly
know?
the philosopher king for
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
particular fiefdom.
When will he bring his wisdom?
You know, the guy who doesn't realize that Harlem apartments are $1 million apartments. That's the guy I want. The guy who still thinks that the Bowery is dangerous.
Bill O'Reilly isn't even talk about not qualified. He's not even qualified to be a good racist.